Poblano Beef, Carne Guisada in the Instant Pot. Happy May, everybody. Where's my beautiful wife? There she is. Well, you know what day it is?
May 2nd.
Well, it's Instant Pot Monday.
Oh, you meant in a food category.
That's right. And I'm thinking about making something that I get at Los Ventanas.
Oh man, Los Ventanas. I want to go back there. I mean, I love your cooking. I want to go back to a restaurant.
I think they're opening up.
Okay.
But anyway, I think that Carne Guisada is the perfect thing to make in the Instant Pot.
I've never ordered that. I don't even know what that is.
It's the beef stew. Remember that?
Beef stew?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say so?
Well, that's just what they call it. It's just got like a little bit of a Mexican kick to it. It's a Tex-Mex beef stew.
So carne means meat. What does asada mean?
I think that's stew.
Okay, there you have it.
So.
Well, I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're going to be so excited, and everybody out there is going to be excited because everybody's going to be excited. And we're going to put it over just some rice. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be delicious. Can't wait. Oh, and you know what else? I'm going to use stew meat. The kind of thing that probably normally takes several hours, but because we're cooking it in the Instant Pot, you know what?
Instantly?
Instantly. Like, boom, food. Food.
Let's go eat. Come on.
It's ready. Alright, I'm using about 2.5 pounds of stew meat here. You could also use any kind of a roast or a shoulder steak perhaps. And I like poblano peppers. You could also use bell peppers. Skipping ahead a little bit, I came up with 3 cloves of garlic and I rough chopped my vegetables. I didn't use the whole yellow onion because I had some red onion in the fridge. I'm deveining and de-seeding the poblano peppers. And you could also roast these vegetables for a little bit in an oven, a hot oven, or under a broiler for a little extra flavor, but I'm just skipping that. I'm going to just blend everything together and then pour it over the meat. If you've got a large tomatillo, use it, but I don't, so I'm just going to use about 1/4 cup of my green salsa. Here I've got a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of cumin, teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of Mexican oregano, and blend. I do not have a full-size food processor, but I can only imagine that it would be easier than this. Whatever gets the job done. I'll use the saute function to brown the meat, and while the pot gets nice and hot, I'll go ahead and season the meat with salt and pepper. Got about 1 tablespoon, maybe a little more, of olive oil. It was quite a bit of meat. It took 5 to 10 minutes. Here I've got 3/4 cup of beef broth. You could also just use water. I'm just going to use it to sort of clean the inside of the mixing pot here and pour that in. Honestly, at this point, I was a little worried that my final product was going to be green, but never fear. I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. So it'll take about 10 minutes to come up to pressure. It'll cook for 20 minutes, and then I'll let it naturally release for 10 or 15 minutes. Looks like everything cooked nicely. The broth is a little thin, probably. So we're going to get the saute function going again to bring the meat up to a boil, and I'll make a slurry with cornstarch. I've got a tablespoon of cornstarch in a little bit of cold water, and just pour it in while the meat is simmering. Probably just stir it for a while, and then we'll turn it off and continue stirring. You could also introduce a roux with flour and some kind of a fat. That's actually my favorite way to do this, but I didn't have enough flour. You could have also dropped a few potatoes in there to cook with the meat, and then after you take the lid off, smash the potatoes up in there, and that's another good way to thicken this up.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to May. New beginnings.
New beginnings.
Things opening. It's gonna be awesome.
That's right, things are opening. But we're still eating at home because we like to. Carne Guisada.
Carne Guisada? Isn't that what you get when we go to Las Fontanas?
Very tasty. Very tasty.
Oh yeah. It's like beef stew with a Mexican twist.
It is good. The meat is tender, cooked perfectly. Beef stew meat is all it is. And everything that I mixed up in there, you can kind of taste subtle flavors, good developed flavors, good nice spices, mix of spices.
It was a really good meat too. It's tender.
The meat is tender.
What have you done to it?
It kind of melts in your mouth. Well, I just sauteed it a little bit, and then cooked it in the pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker.
And it's perfectly cooked.
It is. It's really good. Really good.
This is typically the kind of thing that would have to cook for a couple hours.
Did it take a couple hours?
It did not.
It did not? How long did it take?
It took 20 minutes.
What? Shut up. It was smelling really good in the house while you were cooking this.
The animals are excited again.
They're very excited.
Match it up with a little bit of rice and
look at this beautiful salad.
Avocado salad. But you know what? You know what would be good if we do this? If we eat this tomorrow for leftovers, maybe pour it over some mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mashed potatoes. I think we're going to do that. You could also, of course, at the restaurant, Las Fontanas, they serve it with tortillas. So you can just make tacos out of it. That would be good too. This is the kind of thing that the Instant Pot was made for. I was a little worried that I might mess it up because the beef is getting kind of pricey.
Okay. What are you doing?
They just fight whenever we sit down to eat.
No, you don't. Did you see that?
Yes. Nice try. Okay. So I'm gonna call this another hit. And we're gonna have a couple of days of leftovers on this. So this is just awesome.
I can't wait for the leftovers.
Leftovers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like, share, comment. Check out old videos. I'm starting to get a kind of a pretty good little library catalog there of old videos.
Es la comida más fina. See.
Maybe some ice cream or some dessert or something, huh? What are we gonna have for dessert?
I don't know. Where's the waitress?
Jesse. Hey, Jesse.
Oh.
Did you hear the magic word?